Coming up on today's edition of the Chicago Bulls Report by Chat Sports. Yeah, we're talking about it. We are talking about the Bulls possibly trading for James Harden as he had some of the most interesting comments that we'll be breaking down on Darly Morrey. And it looks like he is for sure going to be on the trade block. Maybe the Bulls could swoop in and get him for, honestly, a second-round pick or a young player at this point. That's why the later half of today's show, we're going to be playing a little game here. We're going to be playing stock up or stock down. We're going to be going over 5 players on the Bulls and just kind of diving into what direction I think they are trending heading into the next season. Well, let's stick on James Harden here at first, and I'll toss it your guys' way. Would you trade for James Harden? Give me a T for trade or give me a P for pass down in the comment section. Be the GM. If Darly Morrey called you and said, would you take James Harden for a second? Let me know what you guys would do. And I'll say this before we kind of dive into his comments on Darly Morrey here. I am fully passing on James Harden. I don't think there is any reason for why the Bulls should trade for a guy like James Harden. I don't think it looks at, or I don't think it kind of fits the Bulls' timeline at all. I'm not the biggest fan of his game anymore, and that's why we're just going to be kind of diving in and taking a look at the drama here. I saw this on Twitter. I thought I'd share it with you guys. I think this is freaking hilarious because you guys know when James Harden was requesting a trade out of Houston, he put on about 30 pounds of bad weight, and he really forced his way out of there. And it's looking like the Harden fat suit might be returning again, so James Harden, he wants out of Philly, and he made it very clear today. And this is what he actually had to say. I swear when I saw this at first, I thought it was like a Ball Sack Sports quote. If you guys know, you know. But he said this. He said, Darly Morrey is a liar, and I'll never be a part of an organization that he is a part of. And then he reiterated it. He said, let me say that again. Darly Morrey is a liar, and I will never be part of an organization that he's a part of. And this could get ugly. Like, this could get really ugly. Where maybe Darly Morrey, and he's already came out and said that he's not moving his stance on trading James Harden. So maybe Darly Morrey could be saying, Harden, you are staying here. We're not doing anything with you. I just think this whole situation can really end up in a dumpster fire for Philly. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it and how they want to play this whole thing out. But if I was Philly, I would just kind of rip that Band-Aid off. Because, frankly, Harden is not the same player that he was, in his prime, where he was one of the best offensive engines in the NBA. This is actually a little chat stats I'm going to be breaking down. Shout out Second Spectrum. They do great work over there, just breaking down a lot of deep analytics. But they said Harden averaged 13.5 drives to the basket per game last season, 10 fewer than he did 5 seasons ago. He scored fewer points off those drives than he had since 2013 and 2014. A career low, 25% of his shot attempts came at the rim. Second Spectrum tracks a stat called blow-by rate. I actually love this stat. They said a measurement of how often a ball handler dusts his defender off the dribble. In his last full season in Houston, Harden blew by his defender 10.1 times per 100 drives. Last season in Philly, it was all the way down to 3.7. And I will have to kind of ask this question. I think it's fair. Like, is this the end for James Harden? Because I've always kind of said this. Like, it's kind of like you guys watch How I Met Your Mother. It's kind of like the crazy, like, hot scale. Like, it's kind of with these NBA superstars. Like, it's how talented they are and how crazy they are. And, like, how are you going to kind of, like, put up with their bullshit? Like, I think Harden's at the point where he's not the most skilled guy anymore, but he's also the same amount of crazy. So I think maybe a lot of teams are looking at this situation and be like, yo, I don't want anything to do with James Harden. You can keep him in Philly. Why would we want to bring him and his toxicity into our respective organization? So that's why overall, I'd be out on the Bulls going and getting James Harden, and I'm assuming a lot of you guys would be as well. But coming up, we're going to be playing the stock up, stock down game. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're choosing 5 players on the Chicago Bulls and be diving into if I think their stock is heading this way or that way, as I just did that backwards on the chart. But you guys get what I mean. We're going to be playing stock up, stock down here in just a second. But I got to tell you guys about the deal we got going on right now. If you guys head over to chatsports.com/BullsCombo, you guys can pick up this sweet 2 t-shirt pack today. Originally, they are $49.99, but if you use our link that's going to be in the comment section and the description of today's show, you can get these 2 t-shirts for $29.99. So make sure you guys click the link, check them out, and be rocking your Bulls gear now. Let's talk about it. Stock up, stock down. Patrick Williams, easy one. Stock's going up for the kid. I'm always been a big fan of P-Dub coming out of college. You guys know I've talked about him on the channel a lot. I think he's honestly one of the more hidden gems in the modern-day NBA, frankly. I think he has, the archetype and the build to really get it done in the modern-day game. Like, he's got that 6'7" frame, 7-foot wingspan, really strong defender. He already shot over 40% from deep this past season, uses his body really well, and, I really do see mini Kawhi when I'm watching his game. Like, I can't understate it enough. Like, I understand, like, he hasn't put up the biggest numbers in the world over his first 3 seasons in the NBA, but one of them he nearly missed the whole season with an injury, and the other 2, he's just not really getting a lot of shot attempts next to guys like LaVine and DeRozan. So he's a guy I really think stock could be heading in the right direction for Patrick Williams, and joining him with stock heading in the right direction. Give me a little Alex Caruso. I feel like he's just always been one of the more underrated guys in the league. He gets a lot of fan love. Like, people love Caruso. Like, they call him like the White Mamba, the Caruso, or the Bald Mamba, whatever you want to call him. Like, he gets a lot of fan love, but I think also fans at the same time really undervalue what he does in the modern day game. Like, him defensively, he's one of the best defenders in the league. Like, steals per 100 possession, first. Steals per game, 9th. Deflections per 36. 5.2 deflections per 36. That's first in the league. Then overall, just deflections per game for a guard-wing hybrid, and he's sitting there at 3.4. Caruso special, man. There's a reason he was first team all defense. I just think he's heading, in that right direction there. But then number 3 on my list, got Coby White. And listen, I know he ended the year very strong. Like, Coby White, he started off really shaky, really inefficient. Then he kind of upped it in the second half of the year, and he actually played great in the play-in game against the Miami Heat. But I do think with the Bulls bringing back Ayo and bringing in Javon Carter, I think Coby White could maybe be, his stock could be trending a little down here. If you look at his stats over the last 4 seasons, well, they're trending down. Like, since 2020, his points per game has dropped 3 points every single season. The efficiency has gone up, though, a little bit, so I will give him that as well. But I think Coby White, I think he's going to have a tough time fitting in with this group next season, because all of the guards the Bulls have are all defensive-oriented. So like, Coby White's going to kind of be the, odd man out in terms of the archetypes there at that guard spot for the Bulls. So I got his stock trending down as of right now. But again, Coby White, he's a tremendous talent. He could easily change my opinion on that very, very quick. And I know a guy that's probably trending down for a lot of you guys, and that's big man Vuce. Listen, Vuce, he just re-signed for the Bulls for that 3-year, $16 million deal. I just don't think Vuce contributes to winning. Like, listen, you look at his stats. Like, he's going to put up a double-double almost every single game he plays in. Like, he can put up the stats, and he can fill up the stat sheet very well. 17.6 points per game, 11.0 rebounds this past season. Again, I'm solid efficiency. And he's also a stretch 5. Like, he can stretch the floor very, very well. But the thing is with Vuce, he sucks on defense. He's one of the worst pick-and-roll defenders in the league last season. He's been one of the worst defenders in the league for the last couple of seasons, and he just gets abused anytime a team gets him in a pick-and-roll situation. Like, and that's what a lot of the NBA playoffs are, is where you get him, you find mismatches, you get your guard on top of the key, and it's what LeBron's been doing in the East when he kind of went on his reign. You just sit at the top of the key, see a guy he wants on him, come here, set a pick-and-roll, and I could just see Vuce get really abused. I've been kind of out on Vuce for the last 2 seasons with the Bulls. I just don't know why they re-signed him. I'm still asking that question. But I'll ask you guys. You guys could give Vuce a 2K rating. And for all the young cats out there, be Ronnie 2K. Scale it 1 through 99. I'd probably give Vuce a solid, like 82, 83, 84. Like, I just think he's an okay center. I don't think he contributes to winning too well. So I'd probably go around that low 80s range. Now, stock up or stock down for the Bulls as a whole. I got the stock going up. Smitty, the Boston Celtics fan, who's a producer for the show, called me crazy when I put this out there, but I disagree with him. I think the stock's trending up for the Bulls. Obviously last year, it was a disaster. So where else could the Bulls be, trending in other direction? Like, they were terrible last year. I think this team did get better this offseason. I think with the additions of Torrey Craig, Javon Carter, you're adding solid 3-and-D guys that can really help you get better on the margins. And listen, I think the Bulls roster overall, I think they're pretty freaking talented. Like, I really do. I think they are pretty freaking talented. Like, you got Carter, DeRozan, LaVine, Patrick Williams. Like, I love the starting lineup. But then I think their bench got incredibly better as well. So overall, I think the stock's going up for the Bulls. I think they're trending in the right direction. I've been saying this a lot. Like, their max potential as a team this year is winning a first-round playoff series. Starting to buy into that a little bit more every single day. As we start inching closer to this NBA season, I just want Bulls basketball back. So I think the Bulls, I think they're trending in the right direction here. And I'm just excited to kind of see them get on the court and see what these guys like Carter and, Torrey Craig can do for this team, and see if they can kind of be complementary pieces around LaVine and DeRozan. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's show. Make sure you subscribe, lock us in as you go to Chicago Bulls YouTube channel. See you guys next time. As always, go Bulls.